Today's video is on my own car. I've finally got time to fix my own 2004 Toyota Corolla. What was going on is I would turn the key to start it and the starter would just spin as if the Bendix on the starter wasn't engaging the gear with the flywheel. And occasionally it would kick up and spin the flywheel, and then it would back off and kick up. Same thing, and it would just cough and sputter until finally it would start after about 30 seconds to a minute of trying. And I've been dealing with this for about a week, and finally it's time to take care of it. So this video will be on how to replace your starter on, should be the same for about a 2003 to 2008 Toyota Corolla. So here we go. For starters, under my engine bay here, you can see I've already relocated my battery to the trunk, and so on most of your vehicles you'll have a battery sitting right here, but that's okay. It just makes things a little bit trickier, but it can still be done. I also have a cold air intake right here versus the stock airbox, but again, you can still do this with that in the way. It's just a little bit trickier. So I've actually already got my starter out, but I can still show you where the mounting holes are and the bolts and what's going to be involved. So if we look, let's see if I can get you a good angle here. Right, oh, where are you? Right there. Okay, so where I'm at, you can see I'm looking just to the right of the transmission dipstick here, and down under that wiring harness there's one bolt hole. That is your rear upper mounting bolt for the starter, and that's a 14 millimeter, and if you put about an 6 or 8 inch extension on your ratchet, you'll be able to get that out. So remove that. Secondly, from underneath the car, which I can lift up the car and show you this. Let's just get the lift plugged back in. Sorry for the camera, I'll get you set in just a second here. Okay. We'll go ahead and lift the car and I'll be right back. One thing that you'll want to make sure and do is unhook actually your positive battery cable. Most would say unhook the negative battery cable, but if you do that, you can still make contact with your starter cable and get sparks and things like that, blow fuses, and we don't want that. So unhook your positive battery cable. There we go. And now from underneath the car, I'll go ahead and get the light plugged back in. From underneath the car, we're looking now just in front of the oil pan and up. Let me get better lighting. If you're directly under the oil filter here, and then look up towards the starter, you can see right up there where I've got the starter removed. In the lower right corner is your second mounting bolt, and that's also a 14 millimeter. And I used a 14 millimeter deep socket on my 3/8 drive ratchet to remove that. And the last two things to remove are your wire, your starting cable, which is a 12 millimeter, and I used a 12 millimeter wrench, open-ended wrench. And lastly, there's one connector I'll show that to you here. There's one connector you can see right there next to the oil filter. That's just, I think that feeds the gauge in the car. And that's just, you'll push down the little locking tab on the connector and pull that out. Once you've done all that, you'll want to go back around to the top of the vehicle. And I'm actually just going to stand on a stool here so we don't have to lower the car again. You'll come back up to the top of the vehicle, and with a long flat screwdriver or a pry bar, you can tap the top of the starter if it's corroded in place, and it'll just drop right out of place, and you can remove it from the bottom. If you look up here from the top, I've got the starter right here, and it's not going to fit up through the top, so I'm going to just drop that down the bottom. And that's it. Once you've got it out, slide your new one back in, and you'll attach your two mounting bolts, and then reconnect your cable and that single wire connector, plug in the battery, and you should be set. So hopefully this was helpful. Sorry about the videography today. I'm kind of up and down on the lift and all over the place, but I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you on the next video.